Hey guys, my name is Joseph. I'm a first generation Filipino.
Hi, I'm Lara Santo Domingo. I'm 23 years old and I'm a first generation Filipino Canadian.
Hi guys, JD, Toronto, 28. Born and raised here.
My parents came here in 1997, immigrated here into Toronto. But I spent most of my life growing up on the West End in Mississauga and Brampton. And it was there that I was really immersed in what it means to be Canadian, what it means to grow up in Canada.
My parents moved to Canada in 1997. So we've been here for probably around 23 years now. I live with my whole family. I have an older sister named Sarah and a little brother, John. We do have a lot of Filipino friends. I'm surrounded by a lot of Filipinos.
I know my mom came down here by 1989. My dad was here a little bit earlier, but yeah, basically spent most of my life here. School, life, friends.
I was very lucky to have a very diverse and multicultural set of networks and supports and friends and community groups. And it's been quite an experience, having to juggle what it means to be Filipino, what it means to be Canadian, and kind of the melding of those two worlds, those two identities.
Filipino culture is important to me because it shapes my values and beliefs. I know one thing in Filipino culture, like family is huge. So I feel like being a Filipino is why I'm so family oriented. A lot of the big milestones in my life were celebrated with my family. Every holiday is celebrated with my family. I don't think I've ever spent a New Year's with my friends. Like my mom is always like, you have to be home to celebrate with the family. So all my birthdays are celebrated with my family, everything. And that's why I think Filipino culture is so important to me, because that's something that I learned and personally value from being a Filipino. Growing up, I had really close Filipino friends too. I didn't have any family in Canada, so my barkada growing up was like my family, and that's where I had a sense of community and togetherness, and that's where I learned even learned more about my culture. Being at family parties, trying all the Filipino foods, that's where I tried all of it, because my mom can't cook everything. I mean, actually, she can cook it. My mom can cook everything. She's really good, actually. My mom is, I want to say my mom is probably the best Filipino cook in the world. In all of Philippines and all of Canada, my mom, hands down, is the best cook, for sure. She makes the best palabok. She makes the best barbecue. She makes the best adobo. She makes the best sinigang. Oh, woo, her sinigang, yeah. I love Filipino food. It is my favorite. I think my favorite food is sinigang. I can eat sinigang probably for the rest of my life, every single day, honestly. It's so good. My mom's, at least. But yeah, back to my barkada group, that's where I really blossomed into the Filipino I was, and that's where I found pride in being Filipino. All my friends were Filipino, we were all so proud of it, and having that Filipino community really made me proud to be Filipino, and that's a part of who I am and why Filipino culture is important to me. It's part of my identity, and it does shape my beliefs and values as a person.
I feel like the older I grew up, it's like somehow gravitated towards me. Yeah, that's the best way I could describe it. But yeah, back then it was like literally like, I still remember my time in grade 7, in middle school, it'd literally be the count on my one hand of how many Filipinos were in our grade. And then, yeah, I'm happy to say that I'm still connected to some of them. Long-time friendships that I met throughout that time. But then, yeah, like I said, I grew up in a different type of setting environment. So yeah, I wouldn't say I grew up with a lot of Filipinos, but later on as I got older, it just somehow gravitated towards me. Yeah.
In anyone's journey for personal self-development, you have to really look and understand where you came from to really understand yourself, right? Why do I think this way? Why do I talk this way? Why do I look this way? Why do I feel this way? You could really trace it back to your background, to your history, to your lineage. to help you understand yourself. At the same time, too, I think it's really important to, understand Filipino culture because it's a way to help you understand your family, to help you understand your parents. Especially, as a first generation growing up in Canada, a way for me to understand my parents, a way for me to connect with them is by learning my background, learning why do they think like this? Why do I think like this? And if there's any differences, is it because of culture? Is it because of generation? So for me, really, the importance of, learning the Filipino side is to understand yourself and understand your parents and your family.